Hey you guys, welcome back to Angel Angela, and on this topic, as you guys can see, I'm going to talk about narcissist and karma with the new supply. Narcissist and karma with the new supply, because for some reason, to some of us, we stop caring about the narcissist karma. I think this is something that initially you're hoping for, eventually you feel like things just keep getting worse for you. Eventually you realize you have to pick yourself up. Eventually you realize that God is on your side. You realize that God uses people just like the devil uses people. You realize the reason the narcissist would be in rage is because they weren't able to completely control you. They weren't able to possess you. They weren't able to make you sell yourself out completely. You got glimpses and pieces, and you chose in the end that, hey, this is not right. This is not me. Hey, something wrong is going on with this person. This isn't normal. This person is nearly trying to kill me, and for what? For my soul, right? Nothing you do is good enough for the narcissist. So when they get with a new supply, a lot of times it's angering you, because you're like, how does the narcissist just find someone so quickly? And you don't want to believe that all the times you were being gaslit and you were questioning them, that you don't want to believe that you always knew, but believing the lie was easier, and almost still being in disbelief, right? Where people might even tell you, trust me, the narcissist cheated. And you're like, no, he was a narcissist, but he didn't cheat on me. You want to be in denial, or you'll think to yourself, maybe they met them and moved on. You don't want to believe that these people will carry on relationships with other people for years or months just to secure them, right? And you don't want to believe that you were being tormented, gaslit, abused physically, mentally. And this person just went off, didn't get their karma. And somehow they're happy, right? And they've caused nothing but destruction in your life, and they want you to lose faith in God. They want you to lose faith in your greater purpose. And a lot of times they think that they're going to win by not giving you closure. They're like, oh, I'm going to make you sell yourself out. You're going to sell yourself out when I'm gone. You're going to find another narcissist, or you're going to turn into a narcissist because you're not strong enough. They keep feeling like you're not strong enough, even though they were the ones who weren't strong enough. And this is why a lot of them even exploited you in the first place, because they felt they weren't strong enough. They felt like they weren't in power. They felt, like maybe someone had done things to them as well. And to them, it was like, hey, it's a dog-eat-dog world. No one pays for anything that they do. People break the rules all the time. But at some point, you're going to realize that you're not in control. You're going to realize that the reason you keep getting warnings and red flags is because you still have a chance. They don't. Right? By the time the new supply figures it out, because the narcissist, they have to feed off someone who they're not just going to go after a bad person, because that demon in the narcissist needs to eat. It needs to fuel itself. It cannot fuel itself with another spirit just like it, because it defeats the purpose of taking out as many souls as they can. So by the time you're aware, hey, this entity, this person, I always knew there was something behind those eyes, but now I'm sure of it. Now I'm positive. Once that demon knows that you know what it is, it flees from you, because it can no longer possess you. It cannot possess your mind. It cannot control your mind. So its purpose is, there's no purpose on that demon staying around, because there's no energy that they're able to take from you, right? So this is why they'll pick a new supply. They'll pick strangers, friends. You'll see that not only do they replace people that they're in relationships, but their friendships, right? Or they lie about their family and their upbringing, and they lie about, they'll call certain people narcissists when they're the narcissist in the family, right? So the narcissist feeds off of others, and when they leave with the new supply, it's a new soul to destroy. And the only way it can destroy this person is if this person is not aware of evil. They have an idea of evil, but they haven't really seen evil, experienced evil. And that's what makes that person a good candidate for the narcissist to feed off of, because this person is blind to the spiritual world. So the narcissist they'll feel like, hey, if I can manage to leave you, not give you closure, you'll eventually, you'll give in, you'll give in, you'll sell yourself out. Their whole thing is to sell yourself out. So, they'll move on with a new supply. Sometimes they'll deceive you and make you feel like they moved on with the Jezebel spirit. They'll throw the Jezebel spirit in your face. They'll have this person even contact you, but what you don't know is that underneath the mask, that they're trying to show you, they're dropping the mask, but they're putting on another mask. And what you don't know is that they're not with this Jezebel spirit. There's someone good in the narcissist's life. For the narcissist to leave, to flee, is because they found a new house. They cannot house themselves with the Jezebel spirit. They'll try to use the Jezebel spirit to destroy you and destroy the new supply. And a lot of times, the Jezebel spirit can also put the narcissist in a position where they'll destroy the narcissist themselves. But it's all a journey to awaken that person to who the narcissist is. And that person, eventually, they're going to have to make a choice. So yeah, initially, it seems like things are going well because this person isn't asking the right questions. And a lot of the things they're being told before they even get to ask questions, they're being told things that are going to drift them away from asking the real questions. And that's when things will happen, right? That's when those demons are like, hey, you need to feel me. You need to pay up, narcissist. The narcissist is like, no, I'm trying to change my life. I'm being a good person. Right? Now things are manifesting in the new supply's life, and the narcissist is aware of it. They grow angry. They disassociate themselves. The person sees it. The narcissist hears the voice of God, which is the voice of all the great supplies in their life, the great people. They're not dumb. They're not oblivious. So everything that they do will have this person blind because they're doing the right things. This is why you think they're happy. because it's not the same strategy that was done on you. It's the opposite. Remember, you used to think the opposite of everything they did to something being bad? Now, this person might think this narcissist is up to this, or that, or might have insecurities. And the narcissist is proving that they don't have to be insecure about anything, right? So every time the narcissist enjoys themselves and they think to themselves how happy they are and how far they've came to finally get what they wanted, or how once they start making plans, right? They start making plans for the future, dreaming. They go back to dreaming. You're wishing they got their karma. Eventually, like I said, you don't care about that because you know that the narcissist is not even a real person. They're not even a real person. So what happens is now the person that they're with is questioning their past, and or sometimes the narcissist might even start being reminded of certain things and start bringing up certain things, and the vibration is always off. The frequency is always off. Every time the narcissist, becomes possessive, controlling, because they feel like their karma's coming, the red flags are coming out. Eventually, things just start happening to the narcissist. Things just start happening to the newsupply. They keep working through these things together. These demons that the narcissist carries, they're trying to feed themselves. They're like, hey, hurry up. You were supposed to destroy the other person. Hurry up. Narcissist is like, I can't. I have to be good. Demon says, okay, I'm gonna go and jump into someone else and bring temptation to your front door. I know you'll take it. The narcissist is like, okay, I'll take the temptation. I'll take the Jezebel. But I'm not gonna fall for it all the way. You don't control me, devil. I control me. The devil said, I've been controlling you the whole time. What are you talking about? You thought your thoughts and your actions were all on your own? No, that's not how it works. The narcissist says, I'm not going to leave the newsupply. I'm going to apologize to them. I'm going to tell them that it'll never happen again. Or I'll use this person, but I'm not going to leave this supply. It's too much of a good supply. Trust me, I'll break them in time. So the devil's like, I already deceived you, because as much as control you think you have over yourself, I've already put a whole bunch of decoys all over you, narcissist. The narcissist is like, I already know. That's why I don't trust nobody. But you already fell for it. And now you have more spirits than the ones you brought into the relationship. And you have more from past people that you've broken. You have to pay up. The narcissist gets their karma by holding on to people that they know they have no jurisdiction to be around. They're passing a jurisdiction. They're lying to themselves, telling themselves that they get to start all over. This is a restart. I don't want to think about the past. I don't want to think about what I did. I don't want to think about the karma. Bad things happen to everyone. They go again against the karma. Right? So the decoys that they attract, the friends, the people they shouldn't talk to, these people bring more demons into the narcissist. The narcissist, there's a party in the narcissist body of demons coming into their corpse. And I'm telling you, it's true, it's real. It's spiritual, and I've told you many times, many stories. I've seen the spirit realm. Everything it's not coincidence, and the narcissist is aware of this. And once you know the spiritual side, you'll see that a lot of narcissists actually play stupid, and they know it very well. So, they tell the new supply, I could be with my ex, but I'm with you. I could be with other people. They wanted to be with me, but I'm with you. Right? That's what they tell the new supply. I'm with you. I could be with them. But no, they can't be with them because those people don't even want them. Those people don't even want to talk to the narcissist ever again. So it's a lie. But the new supply believes the lie. They want to believe the lie. The thing about the lie is that it's stripping energy from the new supply, so they can't have any frequency of love. When you're stripping love from someone, you're stripping someone's destiny, because in reality, the narcissist knows that they aren't destiny. They aren't part of that person's destiny. They force themselves, barge themselves in that person's life. So they know it's not going to work out because they barge themselves in that person's life. Now they start to hate you. The demons of that are haunting the narcissist start projecting themselves in that person's life, in the narcissist's life. So when the narcissist can't no longer control themselves, they'll want to leave, but they will feel trapped. It's kind of like, how you have moments where you miss certain things, but you also know that those things never existed, and there's no point on going back on those things, and eventually you'll get there. So the narcissist, they'll think to themselves, I wish I can go back to this person, but I can't. I have to deal with it. They get angry. They're like, oh, if I can't control this person, they're going to try to control me. I don't like that. So, they'll make threats. They'll say, I'm thinking about buying a house. I'm thinking about moving over here. I might want to retire over here. They'll start saying things to see what this person's what their expectations are, because they want to appear desirable. So the spirit will constantly test the narcissist, but guess who the narcissist hears in their head? The voice of God, the voice that you gave to them. This is how you're able to determine evil in people, because you hear the voice of the narcissist, their thoughts, how they handled things, how they manipulated things. You needed to go through certain things in life to see that, because the end goal was for you to have faith in God. Because when you leave, you run from the world, you go into church, right? And then you're going to church, and there's people who are possessed, there's demons in there who go there every Sunday and who treat people bad during the week. And then just like the narcissist, they put that face, that mask, and they treat other people differently. And every time they go, every Sunday, they're becoming more and more possessed. And that's why when you see them outside of the church, they're scheming, they're plotting, they're not changing, they're attacking. And a lot of times they're pointing out people's flaws. They're telling people they're going to go to hell because they go to church every Sunday, right? But because it's a mask, what happens is that every time they go to church, they become more and more possessed by these demons, by these spirits. And then what ends up happening is the people that are running away from evil and are searching for good people are running to places where they can find good people. And these people say, hey, I can help you. Hey, we go to church together, so, I can help you with this, that. They get close to you. The demons, they get close to you. and then they fuck you over, and then you say, I'm not going to that church anymore. And eventually you stop going to church. You're like, I don't want to deal with people there. I don't want to go online and find anyone to date. You start becoming isolated from everything, because now you don't trust anything. And you get to a point that you might say, God isn't real. I don't know what I believe in. I feel like God is real because God got me out of all these situations. But what if I told myself this because, I just want to have something to believe in. Maybe I've just been brainwashed my whole life. Maybe everything is a lie. You'll question reality as a whole, because that's what the devil intends. I'm telling you, that's what the devil intends you to feel after dealing with narcissistic people. That's the biggest trick that the devil plays on you. That's the biggest trick, the biggest deception. So what happens is the narcissist will say, I'm going to be a good boy, I'm going to be a good girl for this new supply, because I know I can't go back and I'm depending on this supply as energy. So the devil will keep putting voices in the narcissist's head, and the narcissist hears you out. They know not to do certain things because of you. You're the voice. You were the voice of God in their life. So now you're like, wow, this person's treating this person better. So the demon's like, I'm bored. You can't just live happily ever after. It comes with a prize. Remember, you got to pay me back. You got to pay me back, demon. You got to pay me back, because it was your own. It was free will. It was your own choice. You came to a point where you knew certain things were good, certain things were bad. There was a point where I even introduced myself to you and you accepted. The narcissist sold their soul. That's why they're so demonized. It's like you can't see someone at that level of demonization. It's hard for them to come out of that. Sometimes you can have a demon put a spell on you, but you're not a demon. You're not one of them, right? You could be under a spell and then break it, and then you're like, I choose God. It's like breaking from sleep paralysis, right? They came to a point they don't want to deal with the karma. They don't want to deal with it. They feel a victim to it. They don't see nothing wrong with their actions because they're so far in their victimization where they could be doing the same things they claim people have done to them, but they can't even see. It doesn't even matter. Your reality doesn't matter because they're in their own personal hell. You can't expect nothing from someone who is in hell in their mind and who is telling you that they're not, right? And then they're trying to attack you because you're getting a glimpse of who they really are. So what happens is that these demons say, oh, you're listening to the voice of God. You're listening to these empaths. You're seeing, you're trying to do the right thing, right? But you still got to pay. So what happens is these demons will say, it's getting boring here. So it goes around, travels around to other demons in the family who are also possessed, demons in friendships, demons in exes, demons in newer supplies. And now the narcissist is being tested, and the narcissist is aware. And then the narcissist is like, no, this not a good deal. I'm not leaving. I'm staying here with this supply until I get a real good deal, a real good offer. I'm not selling what you're buying. They feel like they're more powerful than even the devil himself, even though the devil is still possessing them. The only reason they even got to the new supply is because of the deal they made with the devil, but they didn't read the fine print. The narcissist is trying to fight with the devil now. They're fighting with everybody. Now they're they're even telling you, I am the devil. No, you're not. No, you're not. He just uses you when he feel like it. So the narcissist will be tempted. And they'll say, okay, I'll fall for it this time, but not completely, because I'm only going to sleep with this Jezebel spirit, and then I'm going to run back to my new supply, right? I'm going to run back to my new supply. It's a one-time thing. Just like when people say, I'm going to go to church, they go to church every Sunday, you know they wicked as hell, and all that's going on is they're getting wickeder and wickeder every time they go to church, right? Because they're using God's name in vain. The narcissist is using God's name, what you said to them, in vain. It's used as manipulation. So what happens is now the devil says, okay, you think you're more powerful than me. You're only going to sleep with this supply and it's over? No. Jezebel is going to destroy your relationship with this supply. She's going to expose you. So Jezebel might even expose herself, and the narcissist is like, I'll go to counseling, or, I'm sorry, or let's get engaged, let's get married. Now they want to love bomb you. They only want to love bomb you when they get caught. They only want to love bomb you when they're plotting, right? Anytime they're nice, it's usually only convenient for them to be nice because they're getting something out of it. They're not taking you out, enjoying the vacation because of you. They're enjoying the vacation because of themselves. In their mind, they could have been here with any supply that they've ever had. But they're here. You should feel grateful they're here with you. It's your turn. Right? So now the narcissist will convince the new supply, hey, these things, what people said about my past to you, any lie that they've been caught in, the narcissist is going to deny. The narcissist is going to love bomb. But what ends up happening is they already fell for the devil's trick. They already fell for the decoy, Jezebel. Jezebel has spirits in her. And those spirits now have returned with 7 more spirits, worse than the first one. The one that left to go and tell another bad spirit to come back to this house that they're having a party at the narcissist's house. Nothing but spirits running through the narcissist. That's why their personalities, they got all kinds of alter egos. They change like they change clothes, right? They become different people. Now, 7 spirits worse than the one before. How do you think that new supply is handling someone with 7 spirits worse than the one before? So they're not going to change. They're going to do something way more wicked than what they got caught for. And even as much as they try not to, it's going to happen. It's just a matter of time. Because they haven't repented, because they have no fear of God, they have no fear of the devil. They think that their thoughts are their thoughts. They think that they're these big, huge master manipulators. But when you listen to the stories, when you hear other empaths, don't you think it's weird that everyone is kind of saying the same things? And when you hear another person share their story, you just know they're not lying because you've went through it and you've experienced it. And you almost think it's the same person, right? Because all these demons work the same. They work the same. But the thing is, the narcissist wasn't able to have the narcissist was on an assignment, on a contract, and they were not able to get you to sell your soul to them. And this is why they left you for the new supply, because they're looking for souls. Yes, they destroy a lot of souls, right? They destroy a lot of souls, but not for too long. Not every soul they come across they destroy. Because in order for them to destroy you, you have to give yourself up to evil and be aware of it. And a lot of us will be on the street, literally in a position where we wouldn't do certain things just to get certain things, right? But then we also know never to say never, right? We also know never to say never, because after some time, you can give up hope. And then you also realize, okay, I'm dealing with someone who gave up hope, but them giving up hope made them a monster, right? So you can't give up hope. You know that for sure. Because as tough as it is, as much pain as you feel, constantly being in agony the way the narcissist is, you know that's not a way to live. It's already painful. You already feel it. You already feel the pain, but it's not enough pain to start trying to harm others. You know how sick you got to be to start trying to harm other people because you're in pain, but you're too much of a coward to take yourself out, so you start taking other people out, hoping somebody's going to take you out. You're like, I hope somebody take me out because I can't control myself. I know I'm going to die young. I know something's going to happen to me. Being paranoid because you think the newsupply or people are in cahoots with one another. Because that's just how it always keeps happening. Always having to feel like you got to control the people around you and who they communicate with, and trying to make it seem like you're private because you want to conserve your energy. While that person is giving up the last drop of their energy for you, and you got this attitude like you don't care, with your feet up on the couch. But in the back of your head, you also know, oh, it's gonna get ugly for me. So you go back into motion, and you go back into being enraged, looking for a newer supply. And when no one is there, being in constant torment because you can no longer deceive people the same way you once did, at least not for too long. Not the way once upon a time you did. So now you only feed off of memories? How disgusting is that? How sick is that? Right? So the narcissist gets their karma in different ways. Like people said before, being a narcissist is part of the karma. Right? Dealing with narcissists, you get karma. So the narcissist almost feels like, well, empaths, they have to pay for dealing with me, for engaging with me. So the narcissist gets comfort from knowing that you're suffering too. This is why they love making people suffer, because they're like, at least I'm not alone. Others are suffering. And it makes them feel strong. This is why when they feel good about themselves, they can talk about your traumas and things you've shared with them and make fun of you for it. And laugh. Because it's all meant to take away faith from you. It's meant to try to destroy your spirit. Because they're no longer in control of their own spirit. As much as they tell you that their thoughts and actions are theirs, I'm telling you now, it's not. I'm telling you now, who you thought they were, they're not. Who they once were, they're not. This demon is always changing. It's constantly evolving. You wouldn't recognize this person if you got around them again. They wouldn't even recognize you. And part of that hurts because you're like, they're here physically. Spiritually, it's not them. And even who I thought they were, that person didn't even exist. So the new supply isn't aware that the narcissist does not exist. All they're getting are bits and pieces of past sources of supply, and the only good qualities that they see, those qualities didn't come from them. It came from those supplies. You get me? So any parts of them that you liked were the people that they probably most likely fed off of. You never knew the narcissist. And a lot of times the narcissist will tell you in a very demonic way, you don't know me. You never knew me. It's like, I'm not even a real person. How can you be in love with the spirit that's evil? That's not, you don't even know what I really look like. This just a shell. It's just a shell. I don't care how you think, how you perceive me. And then you start to be more in tune with your own spirit, right? And you realize that how people perceive you is not even who you are. Very important, because I feel like people perceive narcissists as just moving on with the new supply, them never getting their karma. And I don't think they really understand that the narcissist isn't even who you think they are. Their thoughts, I'm telling you now, their thoughts are not their thoughts. They think it's their thoughts, right? And I'm going to say this. Let me tell you why I'm going to say this. I've shared this many times with you guys. When I left the narcissist, maybe like almost 2 years, a year and a half, whatever, passed by. I'm dating a guy, and I'm thinking maybe he's the guy of my dreams. He's well off. He owns his own house, has his own cars. I feel like he's on my level, right? When I fell in love with the narcissist, I fell in love. I didn't care about the financial aspect. So afterwards, I'm thinking, okay, well, finances, everything seems perfect. They seem like a nice person too. So now my hopes were up. God wanted to humble me. God was like, don't think just because someone's nice and who's a gentleman that they're really a good person. And I'm like, well, maybe with time, right? So time passed by, I'm like, he's still going strong, right? God told me, don't think just because you're with someone, they're nice, you're spending lots of time with them, time is going by and they're still respectful. Don't let this fool you. The voice of God was in my head, right? So I still had my guard up. Eventually I went to their home. As soon as I walked into their house, I'm telling you, I felt like I was in a horror movie. Like, you know, when you go into a creepy house and you're like, oh, it's time to run away. The house wasn't creepy. It was glamorous, but everything was red and black. And something took over me and my mind said, run, like leave, like this the dungeon, bitch. Ain't no telling how many people spirits came through here. I went from something's off about him. He's a nice guy, but I just can't put my finger on it. Like, I don't feel like his spirit is genuinely nice. I gotta, or maybe it's just in my mind, right? So I'm like, maybe it's just me because I'm just, after you leave narcissists, you're mistrusting of people. But I just couldn't see the true kindness in his eyes. And I know that a lot of times with me, people might think when they see me like I'm probably a bitch or something. And then when they get to know me, they're like, oh, you're not how I thought you would be. And they could tell that by the way I talk, by my expressions, by my face, by my eyes, right? So I get that with people where after a while I could feel Nah, they're authentic, right? I could sense it. But with them, it's like they're nice, but there's something I just can't put my finger on. And I can't judge anyone, like I said. So I'm like, maybe in time. My spirit said, run, leave. So I left. I told you guys before I left, he tried to come on to me, kiss me. When he smiled at me, I felt like his teeth got really long, like his canine teeth. He looked like a vampire. So I just ran. I was like, oh, it's time for me to go. And he basically was making fun of me because he's like, why did you just run out like that? He had contacted me. He's like, why did you just run out like that? And I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, maybe I'm just scared to move on with someone else type of thing. Maybe I'm scared of men. I don't know. I was basically feeling like something was wrong with me. Because when you leave a narcissist, it's like you don't look at dating anymore because you see that people got bad spirits in them. And you got to be careful. So I understood, hey, sex, all this stuff, marriage is important. Because, yeah, you're still going to be attacked even if you're married. But if both parties know the game that's going on and knows how the spiritual world works, then you won't have the spirit can't attack you because you are one. So whatever happens to one, the other one has to experience it. And if you're not willing to hurt yourself, you're not going to hurt someone else. The narcissist is willing to hurt themselves and other people. That's what makes them dangerous. So, time goes by. I'm like, I'm not talking to this dude anymore. I don't know why. Something's telling me no. I started ignoring him. Went to go visit a friend that I hadn't seen in years. When I met up with her and hugged her, my intuition, my mind said, ask her if she knows so-and-so, right? The dude I was dating. Ask her if she knows him. My mind said this in my voice, but it wasn't my thoughts. It wasn't my personal thoughts. So I said to the voice, which was my voice, I'm like, why would I ask her if she knows him? She's going to think I'm weird. She doesn't even know him. The voice said, just ask her. I'm like, I'm not going to ask her that. She's going to think I'm weird. The voice said, please just ask her, what do you have to lose? What do you have to lose? Just like that. And I was kind of like, yeah, you're right. What do I have to lose? Just to look stupid or just for her to ask me, why'd you ask me that? I'm like, okay, I'll ask her, right? The voice said, what do you have to lose? Asked her. She goes, yeah, I know him. Why? You know him? I'm like, yeah. She's like, did he tell you to come here? I'm like, no, he doesn't even know I'm here. She's like, well, how did you know? I'm like, my intuition just told me to ask you. She's like, nah, I think you know that me and him talk because why else would you ask me that? I'm like, I'm telling you, he doesn't even know I know you. She's like, I'm going to call him right now. I'm like, no, don't even call him. He doesn't know I know you. He doesn't know I'm here. My spirit said she doesn't believe you because she's not in the spirit world. I said, oh, yeah, you can't talk to her no more. So basically, my spirit's telling me you can't talk to nobody. You have to test the spirit first. I tested the spirit right away. She didn't believe me. She wanted to call him. My spirit said she's going to still want to talk to him. Let her have him. She'll learn. Or she won't because she's the Jezebel spirit, right? She doesn't care. She's like, oh, she probably started trying to compete with me, but what she don't know is I didn't care. You can have him. She's attracted to what he has. I'm not with him for what he has, or else I could have stuck around too. But I know that has no value. A relationship like that is not going to prosper. He's going to try to destroy you, or she's going to try to destroy him. Nothing is going to prosper. So, that's when I realized, okay, my spirit is telling me is about relationships, how relationships work. The person that I started dating, not just the person that I started dating, but the person that I started, it was a friendship. It was, I would say, it wasn't really dating because they knew from the start, like, it's not going nowhere. It ain't the time for me. I'm probably not going to heal anytime soon. It was when I knew, like, I don't want anything, right? That person I was dating, it was when I finally took the steps to want to date. But after dealing with the narcissist and being in such a low situation, I had a friend who was looking out for me, and he wanted something with me, right? After a while, I think because he knew I went through certain things, he wanted to comfort me and make me feel like, hey, if me and you were together, I wouldn't do what that person did to you, type of thing. And I was not in a position to be with anyone. So that's something I brought up to their attention, right? But they were a really good friend, and they started to want serious things with me. But I would still talk to them and still kind of like, no, not going to happen, type of thing. But they lost their job. And the spirit said, if somebody wants something, their intentions with you, right? They want something, and you don't want that for yourself, let them go, because now something happened to them, right? And I was like, oh, right? Like, oh, that's why bad things would happen to me when I was with the narcissist. Because the narcissist justifies their actions sometimes, where they might even tell you, oh, I don't want to get married right now. Maybe later on. It's just certain conversations they don't want to talk about, right? Their intentions are always bad from the start. That's why bad things are happening to you. But what happens is the narcissist lies to themselves and to you, because they're possessed, and they will tell you, oh, I don't want anything, or they might even say, let's take things slow. But their intentions are bad from the start, meaning that when they start seeing bad things happening to you, they'll tell themselves that those things can't possibly be connected to them. But they've been in this situation many times before to be aware that it is happening to you for a reason. So when that happened to me, I was like, oh, the narcissist was aware. So I felt like the energy was trying to tell me, this is what happened. So I ended up helping this friend find a job better than the one he had. And I sacrificed a part of myself for him so he can get his shit, right? So it was like almost like a return thing. Like, you had my back, I gotta have your back now. I have to return the favor. And that way I can feel good, not feeling like you did something nice for me and then maybe you had hopes of something and I gave you false hope. So I wanted him to know, like, I'm not a bad person, right? But I'm not gonna entertain you. So after that, I had to cut the person off because I didn't want them to get a wrong attachment to me. And what was crazy is that right after he got his job, right, even though my intent was like, now you got to make sure, like, they don't get confused at all. You got to keep your distance, right? So they had got like a new car, right? And then because at the time their car stopped working, so now they get a new car, they got a new job. And I ended up, checking up on them, make sure they're okay. And when I checked up on them, they had a new supply already. They had someone else, right? They had a new person. So I was happy. I was like, cool. They might have been talking to them actually while we were while we were communicating with one another, right? I'm like, they probably were talking to that person while they were telling me they wanted to be with me, right? But then again, they had free will, right? I have free will. So I realized right there and then, like, the way the energy exchange was, how it happened, I'm like, oh, okay, this is what happens when you're with the narcissist. They're taking energy from you. And then Jezebel will pop up. Someone will pop up. And the narcissist will take energy from you to give to this person. So I realized how frequency was working at that time, how the frequency was working with me even dating, and how you have to be aware of the frequencies around you, because when someone's not in your frequency and you're around people that are not in your frequency, sometimes these people will latch on to each other. And this is how gang stalk is also, will be introduced to you. There'll be people that will connect to one another and you're like, how do these people connect to one another? And they don't even do it on purpose. So if I wouldn't be aware of my frequency, I would have never had the voice of God tell me that this man I was dating was talking to my friend. If I hadn't had the voice of God show me the red flags, give me discernment, I would have never known. If the devil had taken over me, had possessed me, I would have been in fairy tale land with my friend. We could have been partying. We could have been out doing things. We could have been dating the same guy and then turned enemies. And then she could have became my gang stalker. I could have became her gangster. I could have been fighting for him. She could have been fighting for him. It could have went left. That's what I'm telling you. It could have went left. But the voice of God protected me because he didn't want me to be involved with narcissistic people because they got evil spirits in them. And, and that's how it works. They destroy one another. So I'm like, okay, I heard the voice of God. The difference between me and the narcissist is that they hear the voice of Satan or the devil or demons, whatever you want to call it, right? Whatever your idea of evil is, these entities, this energy that takes over them, that is not of God. It's against God. It's against good. It's against good. It's like it's like a higher being trying to teach you what's right and what's wrong, right? And you're going against it. And when you go against it, you're being punished. When you're doing wrong, evil, you're being punished. So I realized, okay, if I heard the voice of God and it sounded like me, it was my voice, but it was warning me because it didn't want me to be with this man or this friend, then the narcissist must hear voices too, that it sounds like them. So they believe it's them and it's not them. And eventually they know it's not them. And they pick the devil. They're like, yeah, devil, you do have more power than God, because I'm looking around and these demons is getting away. So I want to get put on too. So that's the karma of the new supply. That's what happens. The narcissists, they don't get better. They become more wicked. And this is why you'll never get the closure you want. This is why they won't apologize. They won't come back, because how can someone who's becoming more wicked than how they were when they were with you, even if they're hiding their evilness, it's still there. And when they go out and do things in a sneaky way, it gets worse because of the lie, because you're dealing with a liar. The more lies they tell, the more they lose themselves. They're hurting themselves, right? So, if they don't manage to destroy the person that they are on assignment with, they have to pay the price for it. They have to pay for not finishing the job. So the narcissist will say, the next one, I'm going to destroy the next one, and the next one, and the next one. And then I'm finally going to be happy. And that day just never happens. You know, like when you want to do something, you keep telling yourself you're going to do something, or you're going to change, or you're like, I'm going to do this for my New Year's resolution, and you just don't end up doing it. And you're like, damn, I end up doing it. That's how the narcissist's life is with the new supply. Things are constantly chaotic. There's always a feeling of, I don't really think this person loves me, or they're capable of loving, or this person, yeah, they do nice things for me, they're loving, they seem perfect, but something is just off about them. It's almost like this authenticity that you just do not get from them. You get me? Ever since I left the narcissist, the voices, the dreams, all that shit is gone. All that shit is gone. And I know it had to come from them. It had to come from these people. It was their energy. It was the energy of all these different people. It was literally eating me from the inside out. And now it's like, you know, things aren't perfect. It's a lot of damage was done to my life, but you know, it doesn't feel like hell. You know, yeah, of course, bad days and days I don't feel like doing anything, or you know, certain days you might even feel hopeless, but it just does not compare to the hell that you live with when someone is lying to you constantly. It doesn't compare when you weren't even aware you were being lied to, and then you got to deal with how dumb you feel afterwards because you realize they were never worth a dime. They weren't worth a penny. You're like, dang, they weren't even worth a penny. They weren't even worth a penny. That's crazy. That was free community service right there. So I hope that this video, you guys, was helpful. Don't forget to like, share, comment, subscribe if you guys enjoyed this. If you guys want to book a session, you guys know my booking information is on the description. And as always, I'll talk to you guys on the next one. Love you guys. Bye.